I'm a loan officer. I have failed twice in the past because I didn't know what it takes to be a good loan officer. I've been in the industry for 17 years. I have worked for different banks, and I worked at a little shop that's called First Mortgage, which became one of the largest wholesale lenders in the United States a couple years ago, or actually 10, 15 years ago, before Citibank took over them. And that merger was like Walmart buying Neiman Marcus. So I was fortunate to get some good guys away from the company, and so we're over 500 employees, 48 offices. And 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, I made the #1 on the country list, and gave myself a pat on the back, and I said, what's next for me? So the next thing was writing a book. And so I did write a book, which is now a best-selling book, The ABC of Sales, Lessons from a Superstar, with a subtitle, How a Russian Immigrant with 17 cents in a Pocket Became One of the Top Mortgage Bankers of All Times. You know, the ABC stands for Always Be Closing. Before I start with my presentation, I want to mention or say something. You know, yesterday, Stephen was kind enough to ask everybody to stand up and give a round of applause to loan officers that have survived. You know what, I was probably one of very few people who actually did not stand up, because unlike some people that are not around here, I did not survive. I actually thrived, and I was able to increase my production and also help hundreds and hundreds of loan officers to be more successful. And so whoever did not survive but actually thrived, I would like for you to stand up, and let's give them a round of applause. Well, thank you guys. So I had one presentation. I think they put on the brochure that my presentation was about the 8 secrets. You know what? I only have 10 minutes. And they also asked me to put in the last 18 years into the 10 minutes. So I had to cut it short, and I'm going to have 2 presentations. The first is about how to get in front of the clients and how to close a lot of loans and how to work the production line. And the reason I've made the change is because many of you have asked me over the last 2 days, what does it take to be the #1? And you know what? If you love what you do, you'll never work another day in your life. And that's what I do. There is not a day goes by that I don't wake up and I don't think about my employees, my coworkers, and my customers. And I haven't called in sick since 1998. That's when someone else signed my paycheck last time. So, if I'm good enough to be back this afternoon, and you obviously have to text whatever the deal is, then I'll tell you how you can close 36 plus units a month in as little as 6 months. All purchases, all realtor business. You see, refis are great, but I don't believe in refis. So let's get going with my presentation. So breaking the chains to your desk. My best production month personally was in July of 2003. That's by myself. I closed 181 loans with the help of one processor. God bless her. She was great, and I paid for her wedding, and then when she got divorced, I paid for the divorce as well. Well, now you have to have just as many processors as you have loans. And so, you know, poor thing is still working for me. What I did is at this point in time, I have about 11 assistants. And do you guys know what the law of large numbers is? It's an insurance term. That's how they determine the cost of the life insurance. Same thing applies to my business, and hopefully in a couple of years would apply to your business. What it is that I don't know who's going to call me today, but I know how many people would call me every single day. And so, coming here to the United States on the cold December 4th of 1991 with 17 cents in my pocket and 1 suitcase, but the thing was, what do I do next? And so I have had all kinds of odd jobs, and then somebody gave me a chance working at the bank, and I never looked back. So I had to be creative. I was a young kid. I was 19, 20 years old getting into the industry, and I had to be better than anybody. My deal was high volume discount prices. My thought was the more people I talk to, the more deals I will close. The more deals I close, the more referrals I'm going to get, and when rates go to 8, 9, 10%, I'm going to have all kinds of clients. And so that's what I do. I'm the sales guy like most of you here. So bottom line, let's get going. Let's talk about building a team. Let's say you're a new loan officer who's starting out. What the hell do you do, right? So here's what you do. As a chief executive officer of Gold Star Financial, I have loan officers that come to me on a daily basis and basically say, Dan, I love all about the presentation. I want to take my business to the next level. I love you, I love the company, and I feel if I get a job at Gold Star, I'm going to be closing a lot of loans. And any of the sales managers would appreciate it. But the but part is, I'm not going to close any loans for 90 days, so can you please give me some kind of guarantee? I promise I'm worth it. And you know what? 99.9% anytime you give somebody a guarantee, you never hear from them. I call them same faces, different business cards, because they go from shop to shop. And and then also in different markets, and at Gold Star with 48 offices, we have offices all over the country. Texas is well known for everybody wants a 95% or 90% commission. And somehow they think that if you make 10% of them, there's enough to cover the bills and everything else. So here's what I tell them. I basically tell them, hey, instead of here's a check for $2,500, but I'm not going to give it to you. But what I will do for you is that I'm going to give you $2,500 worth of marketing dollars. Well, what does it mean? Well, $2,500 is, you can, for $2,500, you can buy 100 leads. Now, this is just, once again, the beginning stages. At this point in time, I don't depend on leads. It's a low, large numbers in my particular case, but you have to get there somehow. And so you can get live transfers, you can get internet leads, and my favorite, you can get the cherry picking leads. What is that? Well, let's say rates 3 days ago were at 5%. Everybody and their brother have purchased this lead, paid 80 bucks for it or $70. They called the borrower, and consumer have gotten as many as 20 different calls. Cherry picking lead is, let's say today you time the market, rates are 4.875. So you call up the guy and basically say, hey, rates are 4.875. At the best, you're going to compete with the guy who had locked in at 5%. But in most cases, borrowers are so frustrated that they haven't actually picked a mortgage company to do business. They've heard all about 5%, you call them on the third day, and you get them cheaper at a better rate. Now, those leads cost as little as $2, $3 to $10 or so. The way it works is that there are plenty of service providers, so you just go online, you look at the state, you look at the type of the transaction, and you look at the loan amount, so you know what's up. You just pick up the phone, call, look pretty, and sell some deals. But this is just the beginning thing. If this thing would only work. So let's talk about month one. If you've gotten 100 different leads, once again, internet leads, live transfers, and cherry picking leads, how many can you close? What's that? My conversion ratio is 78%, but let's not talk about me right now. In the industry-wide, it's about 5 to 6%. Our guys at Gold Star Mortgage Financial Group average about 12. Let's take the 10%, okay? So you got 100 leads month one for $2,500. You've closed 10 loans. Average commission is $3,500. Now let's not be too greedy. Some of us make more, some of us make less. Bottom line is, if you target about $3,500, give or take, depending on your tier, you're going to be right in the ballpark. And a very important piece is mystery shopping. You need to know anything and everything about your competition, what they sell and how they sell. There's not a week goes by that I don't pick up the phone on a Friday and I call at least 2 different companies and a mystery shop. And the chances are, I have probably called on many of you here in the room, posing as the borrower. For 100 different, if you take 100 leads and you close 10%, you will close 10 loans. Well, let's talk about the math. 10 loans at $3,500 a piece, your gross revenue to the company is $35,000. Now, the first $500 of every transaction, once again, consult with your chief legal officer at your company and make sure it's compliant. But the first $500 of the transaction, we're going to put it into your personal marketing account. Once again, I started out at $2,500 up front. I purchased you 100 leads. From now on, it is your marketing account within the company, and $500 of every transaction goes into your marketing plan. Bottom line, you close 10 loans, $35,000. The first $500 goes into your marketing account. So $15,000 comes to you, $15,000 goes to the company, and $5,000 to your marketing account. Now you're almost a superstar, right? If you continue in the space, you're going to make 180 grand a year, not a bad living, right? But who wants to make $180,000 a year? No one, right? Okay, so let's talk about reinvestment month 2. So what do? Now you closed 10 loans in the past, now you have $5,000 in the marketing account. So what do? Do we purchase 200 leads? Probably not, and the reason being is, don't forget, you have 100 plus you have 90 from the previous month you need to call on to sell more loans. So the math is very simple. You first of all make sure your commissions are adjusted for Frank Dodd bill, and bottom line is you're gonna purchase $2,500 worth of leads, and then basically you're going to call on 90 leads from the previous month. Bottom line, 10 new loans closed again, you're going to make $35,000. Plus you're going to close at least 5 loans from the previous month, because anyone who's ever worked the leads knows that sometimes it takes 6 months to a year to close a good customer. And after 2 months, you could be making as much as $22,500 to yourself, and your marketing budget would have $10,000. And you can ask me, I'll tell you all about it later, because I'm running out of time right now. So month 3, $10,000 starting marketing budget. What do? Do you buy 400 leads, or what do you do with that? So bottom line, you continue with the same model going forward. And long story short, at some point in time, you will have a marketing budget of about $30,000, $40,000 built in. And so what do? At that point in time, you hire yourself junior loan officers assistants. You see, I work the production line right now. The month I closed 181 loans by myself and slept on the couch in the office every single day that month, I basically said no more. And so I've utilized this marketing budget not only to buy my own leads, but also to hire my own help and assistants and to build the company around myself. And so each assistant, basically one loan, 1 extra loan a month would pay for the assistant. Anyone who's ever worked the leads knows that the hardest part is chasing down those borrowers. So I'm going to be outside. You're welcome to come by and see me later. But long story short, if you just follow my model, there's no way you're going to make $400,000+ a year. It's a lot of hard work, and it's not for everybody. And so if I'm fortunate enough to be here this afternoon, I will tell you how you can use some of the leads and some of the other things to close 36+ loans a month, all purchase-driven business. Thank you.